Although the run of its first season started and ended within the span of 5 days, Infinity Train was one of the best cartoons I've seen in my entire life. When I first found out it was going to be only 10 episodes, I was worried that the plot might end up feeling rushed, but boy was I incorrect. The pacing was great and we even got jebaited by Owen in a good way. Infinity Train is going to be returning with another season with a different protagonist. Pretty sure we won't be seeing that for a good while, but regardless, I'm glad Tulip's story isn't the end for the series. Tulip's journey through the train and her growth as a person learning to move on from her parents' divorce was my favorite aspect of the show for sure, but the mystery behind the train's conductor was damn near just as good. The conductor of the train had been foreshadowed since the first episode, and I kept getting more and more excited to see how Tulip and the conductor's final confrontation was going to play out. What does the conductor look like? How will Tulip defeat them, etc. were questions I had constantly going through my head for the first half of the season. Well, not even the first half, more like 80%. The conductor's full story wasn't revealed until the second to last episode of the season, The Past Car. In this episode, the cat gives Tulip the conductor's videotape to watch. It's the same type of videotape that Tulip watched in the cat's car, where you literally get sucked into the memories themselves and watch them unfold as if you're actually there, but the people in said memories can't see those who are sucked into the tape. The tape memories open in what appears to be a high school classroom focused on two students named Amelia and Ulrich. Their teacher hands back their papers, congratulating Ulrich on his A+, but tells Amelia in a disappointed tone of voice that she should spend less time with her toys. We don't know what grade she got, but I'm assuming it was a C or less given the sad look on her face after seeing the paper. After that, the teacher tries to sit down, but she's obstructed by a whoopee cushion. Ulrich looks at Amelia with a confident look implying he was the one that put it there. Granted, not much context is given quite yet from this first flashback. The viewers can see that Ulrich does care about Amelia's well-being, enough to prank their teacher and risk getting in trouble to make her feel better about the bad grade, but that's about it. Next, the memories cut to Amelia and Ulrich graduating from college as engineering majors. Ulrich is super nervous during the ceremony, so Amelia suggests bailing before they get their diplomas. Ulrich reacts more frightened by that, so Amelia just calms him down by wiping the sweat off his face with a rag. Also, not that this is necessarily relevant, but the dean is congratulating them as the class of 76, meaning the memories are from more or less 40 plus years ago, assuming the present events of Infinity Train are occurring during our real lifetime period. Here we see Amelia and Ulrich running in the rain trying to find a cab. Ulrich is out of change to use the payphone, but Amelia, the galaxy brain engineer major, uses a trick where she plays specific notes from a recorder into the phone so they can get a signal for free. As Amelia is trying to get them a cab, Ulrich is goofing around in the background trying to get the woman on the phone to hear his antics. At this point, it was pretty clear, at least to me, that Amelia and Ulrich were more than just close friends, but definitely lovers. This next member solidifies that even more, I'll tell you what. Ulrich is inside his apartment playing a Galaga-like game, or more so a seesaw type game. Amelia walks up behind him. To my somewhat surprise when first watching it, he was either using that controller from the game or something he made to sound very robotic. And that robotic voice matched exactly how the train's conductor sounds. Still not sure if the device he's using is from the game or if he made it himself since he's an engineering major, but I guess we'll never know. I mean, granted, it's not really relevant, but yeah. Amelia goes along with Ulrich's robot joke, saying she's just a simple human, but maybe she can bridge the gap between their two civilizations, showing him 2 engagement rings. This scene was so heartwarming, but I think just the overall suspense with these memories made it that much better. The music changing from happy to eerie at different scenes depending on who was speaking, it was great. Things unfortunately begin to take a dark turn from here on out in the tape. Amelia has presumably passed away suddenly, and Ulrich isn't taking it very well. Family and friends are outside letting them know they'll be there to comfort them when the service begins. The memory cuts off and we see Ulrich walking away towards his old university, but part of the roof is cut off, appearing to create train tracks where it used to be. The Infinity Train zooms down the tracks and reveals the person in the hood who lost their loved one was actually Amelia, not Ulrich. She boarded the train, eventually becoming its conductor. All the clues began to come together. Amelia is a lot like Tulip, and Tulip even flat out points it out after the memory tape finishes on the TV. Running away from the changes in her life and trying to create the perfect life for herself in a train car form rather than adapting to said changes in reality. Even her robot suit is a nod to that in a sense. Ulrich speaking in that robotic tone was what occurred right before Amelia proposed to him, deciding she wanted to spend the rest of her life with him. Having the robot suit she uses sound that way is another way to keep Ulrich alive still in a sense. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with missing someone you loved and like keeping their memories alive, but you can't let that loss consume your life for the remainder of your days. You know, during her time on the train, Amelia tried to get one to make a car for her that would give her the perfect life with Ulrich still in it. When he refused, she ripped him from the control panel and became the conductor, completely going against what the Infinity Train's purpose is. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the purpose of the Infinity Train is to help people self-grow in a way where they can deal with the changes in their lives in a healthy manner so they can still be happy. The number on their hand signify the progress they've made in getting past said issue or issues. The number goes down the better you adapt, and it goes up the worse you adapt. Amelia's case had gotten so bad to the point where she has a number so large that it's covering the majority of her body. I bet her stripping 1-1 from his conductor position alone gave her a few $100,000. It really is sad though, because she's been stranded on this train for 30 plus years just beating a dead horse. One of Amelia's main purposes in the show as a character is to help Tulip's final steps grow as a person so she can get off the train. She realizes if she isn't able to cope with her parents' divorce, then she'll end up just like Amelia, wandering the train for years, refusing to adapt to the changes in life, especially bad change. But Amelia and Tulip meeting was also a blessing in disguise for Amelia because she began to realize her wrongdoings thanks to Tulip's interference. Tulip giving her hope that it's still possible to get off the train, she just needs to, start by undoing the mistakes little by little since she got on. I'm assuming no other passenger before Tulip went to this far of a length to help Amelia before, so Amelia's just been alone all this time until Tulip. I guess we can thank 1-1 for that because he and Tulip meeting was pretty much the catalyst for Amelia to take action against Tulip so she could subdue 1-1. I hope in the coming seasons of Infinity Train we can see more of Amelia and how her progress is going. Maybe she'll end up being the final main protagonist for one of the seasons. Or for the final season, rather. She deserves to get off and give living a proper life another shot. Oh, and don't let me down, baby. You gotta give her a happy ending, man. Please, please. But Amelia, always remember, as Alfred Lord Tennyson once said, it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. I think that just about does it for this video, though. I do want to reiterate, lastly, that I absolutely love the dynamic between Amelia and Tulip. They have a trope that I love a lot, and it's the trope of a main character and an antagonist having very similar backgrounds, but the antagonist lost their way, which caused them to become bad, along with the protagonist realizing that they could have become just like said antagonist if they hadn't met people to help them along the way. Like how Tulip met 1-1, Atticus, and even the cat. I like to call this the Naruto and Obito dynamic, since it's the most popular form of media that I can think of that did this, and it's also one of my favorites. Both Naruto and Obito from the series, Naruto, had dreams of becoming Hokage. Neither of them were that great ninja at a young age. Both of them were orphans, had similar personalities in general, etc. But Obito's encounter with Madara combined with seeing Rin die gave him a hatred for reality to the point where he wanted to carry out Madara's infinite Tsukuyomi plan. Tulip and Amelia together made me think of this instantly after finishing Infinity Train. When Amelia even offered she could make a car for Tulip where her parents would still be together, I was like, bro, this is literally Obito trying to convince Naruto that the infinite Tsukuyomi is a good thing, because you're in a dream world where all your happiest desires are met. I doubt that the relationship between Amelia and Tulip was inspired by Naruto and Obito, but I don't know, maybe it was. Like, dude, that part in particular with Amelia bargaining about how she can make a car that meets Tulip desires, it really got me thinking about Obito and Naruto, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, be sure to leave a like down below if you enjoyed the video, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out, take care, bye-bye.